Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Black Privilege. The world has been hitting black people kind of hard lately, and if it wasn't for Stephon Clark's the rise and fall of his wing of Black Lives Matter, it's Kanye West courting conservatism. You got Candace Owens coming in on the scene, aka Red Pill Black. I had my eye on her for a while, and then you have Dr. Cosby's imminent conviction for sexual assault. And in these times, I think it's a time to have the conversation about who are the true villains, who are the true enemies of the African American community, and it's the man looking at you in the mirror every day. All right, the real villain, the real problem with what's wrong with Black America is the person looking back at you. But it's a curable problem, right? First, let's talk about Stephon Clark for a minute, right? Let's trash this out. The nigga was a pimp. He was a fucking gorilla pimp. I mean, he's the type of dude that I keep talking about who's stuck in the underground economies of where black men have to make their money in a skeevy way, and they're going to be perpetually at odds with law enforcement officers. I mean, it's safe to say that the brother resented his life. He resented his life so much that he took it out on black women on social media. It's like I said, a good woman is a reflection of you. If you're not good enough for her, you're gonna hate yourself in the process. And Stephon Clark did not like black women for that same purpose. He didn't like his life. So much so that he started vandalizing his neighbor's properties, which led to his final run-in with authorities, and they didn't give a fuck about his life either. And they took it. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to enjoy their white privilege, their comfort zone of being patriarchs, and they wanted to go home that night, and they ain't had time to chase someone in the dark, so they took his life. Kanye West resented the fact that he was not the alpha male that he purported himself to be. Kanye West was a spoken word nerd. Kanye West is a poet and a thinker, but he got a lot of money selling some alpha male bullshit. So when a few years ago his mother died, his business started failing. His ex-girlfriend exposed him for being the type of dude that like a in the butt. Then the coup de grace. Then his wife got held up in Paris and robbed. Now Kanye did what most black men would do if they were honest with themselves. He had a nervous attack. He had a panic attack. He had a complete nervous breakdown and had to be institutionalized. All the edifices of fake alpha male status that he put in front of him fell apart. Now, being that he was already in the hip hop game, of course he resented black women too, whatever. And as for Dr. Cosby, someone that I really admired for most of my adult life and most of my teenage life, the African American community chooses to resent anybody and everybody who tells them what they don't want to hear. Candace Owens is a perfect example. There's always going to be someone to call her a coon or a race traitor or what have you. And I don't know how that's going to help us. It's not going to help us solve the problems of sexual assault. It's not going to help us build better bridges between black men and black women. It's just a temporary release of frustration to go and attack these people. You attack them as coons, race traitors, Uncle Toms, and all that nonsense. And for what? For what? What does it provide to you? What does it provide to your life to make your life any better, regardless of what Candace Owens is doing? Where did this fucking mentality come from? Where did this bullshit ass mentality come from where we resent anybody who isn't kissing our ass or telling us that everything's okay? Oh, it's not your fault. You could be a fucking lame. You could be a fucking crook. You could be... Black people, I think the black man is at odds with academia. I think black masculinity is at odds with social media, because on one end you have the academic wing of the black defeatist cult that's telling you that you are institutionally oppressed, that you can't make something of yourself, that you have no agency, that the world controls everything. That you shouldn't be practicing respectability politics because there's too much injustice going on. And then you have in the social media camp, young black people penalizing anyone that achieves above them. This crab in a basket mentality. The attack the coon, the attack the... You get what I'm saying, right? Rational, clear-thoughted black men and women are being surrounded by this defeatist cult. I have problems with Black Lives Matter. It's one of those cults. I don't think it solves any problems. I think it's just a passionate outcry of frustrated people who are resentful of how the world is going. I don't think the Black Lives Matters crew of the world, I don't think they give you the tools to cope with the world as it is rather than how you expect it to be. If anything, the world, I mean, you have to be you have to be the change that you want to be. You have to look inside yourself to say, okay, what can I do about Dr. Cosby? Probably nothing. What could I do about Stephon Clark? Maybe look around for legislation. What could I do that's actually going to make some real change in this world? How could I gradually achieve the kind of outcome that I want? And that is going to be something that involves using your mind. That's going to be something that is lucid. That's going to be something that you have to do for yourself. Because I don't remember in any way, shape, or form how yelling at Candace Owens, yelling at Kanye West, yelling at Michelle Williams for marrying a white pastor, listening to Tariq Nasheed, being inculcated in all these fucking defeatist cults, all these worthless, perpetual helplessness salesmen. I don't know how that's going to help you. It's your job to live your best life. And it doesn't have to be a big legislative change. It just means that you have to take what's important to you as a man or as a woman and build from that gradually. Like, perfect example, it's Friday, right? Me, I'm going to take the boys to go see the Avengers. I already have my plan on who's getting picked up, how much money I'm spending, if we're going to hit the concession stands, what time their mothers are going to pick them up back again. That is what I'm using to kind of drown out all this fucking learned helplessness that Black Twitter's selling you, that academia is selling you, because in the end, you can't do nothing with the resentment that you harbor. You're not doing anything for anyone by dogging out black women or black conservatives on the internet. You're just fostering this desire of resentment, perpetual helplessness inside of you that's going to make you hate your own life, you know? And I'll say it again. Black men are being destroyed by that resentment. No one cared about Laquan McDonald, who walked down Chicago streets with a knife until the cops shot him 16 times. No one cared about Stephon Clark. Everybody thinks that Kanye has everything under control. And when they die or when they fall apart or what have you, we idolize how they died instead of protecting them from how they lived. Stop pushing resentment on the internet. Squash the beef with black women on the internet. Squash the beef with black conservatism, because black conservatism is not this big ass evil that the Tariq Nasheeds of the world tell you it is. It's basically the belief that I am going to conserve my prosperity. I am going to take what's important to my life and I am not going to destroy it with drugs, with helplessness, with sloth, with laziness, with gluttony. I am going to be my own best friend. I'm going to be my own protector, and I'm going to protect my family in the process. That is the black conservatism that I see. That is the black conservatism that Candace Owens is trying to promote. Not this notion that the white man is the absolute evil of all evil. All his ideas are bad, and anyone who sides with him is a race traitor and a coon, because some people will actually tell you that. So, in the long run, be the change you want to be. Don't let resentment fuck up your life, because it will do just that. I mean, I'm sorry, man. That's all I have to say about the whole situation. And to everybody watching this, enjoy your weekend, all right? That's the best thing you could do for everybody involved.